Lesson 1.2 starts again with some vocabulary review. We're going to talk about powers and exponents. So a power is the result of a repeated multiplication of the same factor. A power can be written in a form that has two parts, a number called the base and a number called the exponent. The exponent shows the number of times the base is used as a factor. So if I had the expression, this one right here, my power is that there is 5 and it has an exponent. That makes it a power. The base number is 5. That's the number that's going to be repeated. And the exponent is going to tell me how many times that number is repeated. So when you look at this one, we have 5 times 5 times 5. So 5 times 5 is 25. 25 times 5 equals 125. My 2 did not want to write there. Now there are some common ones. The one I just used as an example is cubed. A way to remember cubed is a cube is a three-dimensional object. So that's the 3 there. And there's also squared. And squared is two-dimensional, length times width. So that would be, the exponent would be 2. So for the first example, it says write the product using an exponent. So we look at our base. Our base is 10. And we look at how many times it's multiplied by itself. It's multiplied by itself 3 times. We would call that 10 cubed. Our next expression is 4.3 and 4.3. So the base, the repeated part, is 4.3, and it's repeated twice. So our exponent is going to be 2, and that would be 4.3 squared. We can do it with variables as well. Our base, what's being repeated, is the x. It's repeated 4 times, so that would be x to the 4th. And doing that in reverse then would be x times x times x times x. If we're going to evaluate powers with variables, it says, again, there's that word evaluate, and when we see that, we usually see the word when. So evaluate the expression that we just used, x to the 4th, when x is 0.5. So that would simply mean we would put in our calculators 0.5 times 0.5 times 0.5 times 0.5. There is an exponent button on most calculators, so I can help you do that in class if you need to. You could also get this product first and this product and multiply those two products together. And what you should come up with, and using your calculator is perfectly fine, would be 0.0625. Another way to do this is to ignore the decimal points, do 5 to the 4th power. That would give you your 6.25. And then you want to, and those of you that had me for math in 6th grade, I used the very technical term DINK. You want to make sure then that you have as many decimal points as you have up here. So we have decimal places. There's 4 of them. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to change my color here so you can see it. So when I got my 625, when I was ignoring, now I'm dinking 4 places, and I end up with 0.0625. Here's what I was mentioning before. We have a 2-dimensional square, and we have a 3-dimensional cubed. Another thing to remember about squares and cubes mean that their sides all have to have the same length or the same measurement. So if we look at example 3, an artist uses a cube-shaped block of ice to make an ice sculpture for a competition. We want to find the volume of the block of ice. Now they have every single one of their sides labeled there, but just telling us a cube and giving us one side, we should be able to figure that out. Okay, it is cubed, so my base would be 20, and that's going to be cubed because we have 3-dimensional or 3 dimensions. So 20 cubed is going to give me 8,000. Now, because it is a story problem, we're going to look to see if we have a label. Those would be 8,000 inches, but again, the measurement would be in cubic inches. So we're going to put our exponent of a 3 there for cubic inches. And that finishes up lesson 1.2, your review on exponents.
I didn't know if you wanted